Hi, welcome to Cloud Eagle's Insights in Minutes. I've noticed people talk about SaaS tools all the time: Slack, Zoom, Google Workspace, but barely anyone mentions what it's like to actually manage all those subscriptions. It feels like this invisible part of company life that somehow keeps everything running.
It's wild, right? Most folks just see the apps, but they don't see the juggling act in the background. I once worked at a startup where we accidentally paid for three separate project management tools for months. No one realized until finance flagged it.
That's hilarious. And also a little painful. It shows how easy it is for things to slip through the cracks when there's no clear system. I guess that's why SaaS management is becoming such a big deal for businesses now.
Totally. If you think about it, SaaS spending can actually be one of the top five expenses for some companies. Without proper management, it's almost like leaving money on the table or worse, just burning it.
Speaking of burning money, I've heard horror stories where teams sign up for free trials, forget about them, and then months later realize they've been paying full price for something nobody uses. Does that happen as often as people say?
More often than I'd like to admit. I remember one company where each department picked their own tools, so there were duplicate licenses everywhere. One person even had six different design apps, no joke.
Six? That's almost impressive. But I can see how things spiral when there's no central tracking. At that point, it's not just about wasted money, but also a total lack of visibility.
Exactly, and that lack of visibility can create security risks too. If IT doesn't know what's being used, they can't control access or ensure data is safe. It's like leaving doors unlocked and hoping for the best.
That's a great analogy about unlocked doors. So, when it comes to actually getting organized, what are some best practices that companies should follow to keep their SaaS stack under control?
First thing, centralize your inventory. You need a living list of every SaaS app, who owns it, and what it costs. Otherwise, you're just guessing. Tools like SaaS management platforms can automate a lot of that legwork.
It sounds so basic, but I bet a lot of businesses skip the inventory step. Once you have that list, what comes next?
Regular audits are key. Every quarter, at least review usage and cancel what you don't need. And don't forget about negotiating renewals. Vendors expect you to pay whatever invoice shows up, but there's usually room to negotiate.
That actually reminds me, you mentioned security earlier. Shadow IT, where employees use unapproved tools, seems like a nightmare to manage. How do you even start tackling that?
It is tricky, but a big part is building a culture where people actually tell IT what they're using. Some companies add a quick check in during onboarding or offboarding, or encourage folks to request new apps through a transparent process.
I like that idea of creating a habit, not just chasing people with reminders. Do you think automated monitoring helps, or does it make people feel watched?
If you handle it right, it's more about keeping the company secure than spying. Framing it as protecting everyone's data can help get people on board. Plus, automated tools can flag risky apps without much hassle.
After all this, I'm curious, where do you see SaaS management heading? It feels like automation is going to play a bigger role.
Absolutely, and not just for inventory tracking. Some platforms are starting to suggest optimizations automatically, like flagging duplicate apps or underused licenses before renewals come up. It's like having a proactive assistant for your software stack.
That's such a cool idea. Imagine a dashboard that just tells you, hey, you could save $1,000 this month by trimming these four apps. I can see how that would free up time for IT to focus on more strategic work.
Exactly. And as SaaS continues to grow, I think companies who get ahead with smart management are going to be way more agile and cost efficient. The Wild West days of SaaS are ending, and honestly, it's about time. Thanks for joining us today. Take care, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Insights in Minutes.